Rick Santorum, yes, Rick Santorum is back with an idea on how to get secularism out of the classroom. Now, what idea, what did he come up with? Well, he was talking to Bryan Fischer, and he had a little conversation on Bryan Fischer's show, Focal Point. Let's take a look at that.
We have not fought in the public square for freedom of for our religious values to be allowed out there, just like theirs are. And it's really interesting, Brian. I'm sure you've talked about this. The idea that if you take religion out of the public square, if you take the Bible out of the classroom, that's neutral. Well, no, it's not neutral. It's a different worldview. You can call it. I think we should start calling secularism a religion, because if we did, then we could ban that too. Because that's what they've done. They've hidden behind the fact that the absence of religion is not a religion of itself, which in fact it is, because it has certain moral values and certain teachings that look like a religious a type of moral worldview. So what we have to start doing as Christians is reassert ourselves and saying, you know what, the freedom of religion is not the freedom from religion. We should be in the public square. We should be taught in the schools. It should be an open marketplace of ideas instead of throttling one particular perspective under the name of being offensive to some people.
It should be an open marketplace of ideas. Yeah, we have that. It's called being able to have churches. Any church you want. You should look into it. And look, his points, secularism is a religion. No, it's not. What the fuck? And another thing, freedom of religion isn't freedom from religion. Yeah, actually it is. At least that's part of it. If you want it to be, you are free here in America to have your own religion. And in America also to have that religion tax exempt, as his is. You're also free to not have a religion, to not practice a religion. The idea that Christians need to reassert themselves is patently ridiculous. We live in a country where many places open atheists can't serve in Congress, where kids can be expelled for refusing to say "under God" during the Pledge of Allegiance, where atheists are actually the most distrusted group. Yes, distrusted group. Look it up. It's a new Pew poll that came out recently. And where the idea of even having an atheist president is a huge negative in the polls. So Rick Santorum, why don't you tell me again how a Christian majority is somehow being oppressed by a godless minority? I wait for your answer, but I doubt you're going to have anything substantive because you are full of shit. Stephen?
Look, I mean, when you're in a conversation with Bryan Fischer and you're the stupidest person in the conversation, then you really know that you're scraping the bottom of the intellectual barrel. I mean, it's incredible. He obviously, it's painfully clear for everyone that he's a stupid, stupid man. He doesn't even understand the term that he's using, secularism. As you pointed out, secularism, the very definition of it is the principle, that you have a separation between the government and religion, and that those two shouldn't intertwine, and therefore you shouldn't have it in public schools. And him saying that, kind of as Christians we need to reassert ourselves, become kind of timid, and we're being persecuted all the time. You try being kind of a Muslim in America, and getting your prayer rug out in the park. You kind of leave for lunch at work, and you want to kind of do one of your 5 prayers a day. You try being an atheist. These kind of minority groups are persecuted every day, and yet it's just a victim mentality. He doesn't have any idea about what he's talking about, and the very thought that he could be president, he's probably going to end up running again, is a really, really scary thought. He would turn, if he was elected into office, and let's face it, he won't be, but if he did get into office, he would try to turn America into a theocracy. And then just a final point that's neither here nor there, but I'm sure he's dyeing his hair. I really do think that he should be graying by now.
That's very, very substantive point. Yeah, Santorum is Rick Santorum. He's obviously a moron. But to his point, nobody is banning Christians from being in the public square. Like you want to pray in a park, that's fine. You want your kid to wear rosary beads to a public school, that's totally fine. All the law is saying and the Constitution is saying is that official government people can't promote your religion as a part of their official government job. That includes teachers at a public school. Like, that's basically all anybody here is arguing for. Like, if a kid wants to bring a Bible to public school every single day, then that's totally fine with everybody on this panel, I assume. Nobody is saying Christians are completely excluded from anything or excluded from anything. We're just saying that the government shouldn't promote one particular religion. And if they did promote a particular religion, it should be the Viking religion, because that has Thor in it, and he saved New York, and he has a hammer, and they have Viking funerals where they shoot the arrow on you and they catch you on fire, and it's awesome.
I'm not even entirely convinced Rick Santorum's that stupid. I'm convinced he's just a very bad liar. Part of me is wondering if he's trying to pull the same sort of two-faced shit that people like Romney were trying to pull during the last election. I think he's just really bad at it too. I mean, he's much more consistent in his overall terrible message that he might just be that dumb, but it's not. But what I actually really wanted to get into was his comment about the marketplace of ideas. Okay, Rick. Let's talk about the marketplace of ideas. In the marketplace of ideas, when your idea is bad, people can say your idea is bad. So guess what? Your idea is bad and you should feel bad. And if there was religion in the school, which there already fucking is, it has every right to be challenged, sir, because that's what you can do in a free society.
And let's not forget as well, it's a famous quote, and whilst he probably wants religion taught in schools all the way up to the age of 16 and beyond, there's a famous quote that says, "Give me the boy till he's 7, I'll give you the man for life." He would love to be able to teach, especially young kids when they're impressionable, to believe in the Christian ideology and only the Christian ideology, so that they will probably end up being Christians for the rest of your life. He wants to indoctrinate people into his own worldview, and that's just inherently, I don't use the word evil because I think that's too strong a word, but it's nasty and it's cynical, and he just shouldn't be, no one should be allowed to do it of any religion. The only reason that religion should be taught in schools is to say, look, people have this worldview and other people believe this worldview, you can make up your own mind, but to only teach one religion it's just insanity. He would get on well with a lot of extremist kind of Islamic preachers thinking that kind of their God is the only God that should be taught in schools. He's an idiot.
It really, really irritates me about this subject because there is so much religion taught in our schools today. I have a girlfriend that recently posted to Facebook, and she was wanting to know about the church trailer that comes to the school. And the kids go out to the trailer, and they learn about Jesus and God and whatever religious faction they're promoting at the time, Christian religion, and there should not be anything like that. There should not be a discussion about this. You should not have to post to Facebook saying, should I let my kids go do this or should I not? It shouldn't be there in the first place. I've had children school age, so I know this is something that is very common in America. We do have, throughout every school district in America, you're going to find something similar to this, or most school districts in America. You're going to find these religious groups, these Christians that go to the schools and they offer a separate class, so to speak, to teach Christianity. They don't teach Islam. They don't teach Buddhism. They teach Christianity. That's the only thing they teach. There is no other alternative. If there were alternatives that the kids could go choose which one they wanted, or if everything was spread out over a variety of things, that would be one thing. But just to have Christian teaching during school hours and only provided to students that are given permission, quote unquote, to do it, is asinine.